my name is Bussy Davids, and you're welcome to Life Stories with Bussy. This is February, and it's the month of love. You know how everybody's talking about Valentine, and so we told people to come up with love stories, and I got this interesting love story about how someone proposed over a phone. No, someone met somebody for the first time, and the person knew that was the person that he was going to get married to, and then the person proposed over the phone. Strange story, right? Okay, come with me. Let's start the story. So, I got this story from someone who sent me a mail. She said, sometimes in the year 2000, I was a copper in Lagos and I was in a relationship. I went with another friend to visit a fellow corps member whom we hadn't seen for a while. While at her place, we had a meal. It was a lovely visit. I washed up the dishes and we left. What I didn't realize was that a brother-in-law who happened to come visiting saw me and was like, I am going to marry that girl. My name is Nkem and his name is Pauly. Oh God. When my friend mentioned this to me, I told her I wasn't interested. Who meets someone for the first time and says, I want to marry? Besides, I was in a relationship. Then again, who bears a name like Pauly, like Paulinus in the year 2000? How ancient. I was so out of it. I didn't even gist my sister, because how would I tell my sisters that someone called Pauly just like that says he will marry me? He didn't even say let us date or something. He just said I am going to marry you. Anyway, I'm a one person's girl, so I never went out with him and totally made it clear that I was not interested. Fast forward 5 years later, the relationship I was in ended. I left Lagos for Abuja and I dated one or two more frogs, and by 2005 June, I was absolutely done. Frogs were no fun. Feeling like a mature single working lady at 30, I didn't need a guy for Jack. I was happy and living well in Abuja. What I didn't know was that Pauly had been looking for my contact for years. I'd lost touch with his sister-in-law with Nitel and GSM things, and with relocation to Abuja. Backtracked a bit to August 2004. Through a mutual friend, his sister-in-law and I reconnected. We chatted a bit and we would continue to speak from time to time. Sometimes in 2005, she mentioned to me that Pauly was asking about me. I told her no, I wasn't interested, and requested that she should not give him my contact. She said she would, and when he calls that I should use my mouth to tell him I wasn't interested. So one random Saturday in July 2005, I got a call, and the caller says, hello, my name is Pauly. I got your number from. I was like, you again? After all these years, I don't want to marry you. He responded saying, I'm not asking you to marry me. Don't be faster than your shadow. Here, I said, well, okay, let me get it out there straight up before my shadow will overtake me. He said he was wondering what had been up to all these years and whether we could chat from time to time. And I said, okay, you can call at such and such times because I get busy with work and my life. I didn't know how to be rude and say to him, please don't call me again. At that time, Pauly too was in Europe and I was in Nigeria. The number he called with was one of those card things with like a Nigerian number. It never crossed my mind it was not in Nigeria. Anyway, he would call and we would chat for minutes, going to long minutes. It was easygoing and quite informed. I liked that. I didn't bother calling him because I knew this was going nowhere. I even mentioned to my sisters and we all laughed about this guy called Pauly from years ago. And now we had resurfaced and all that. My elder sister asked, so now what? Would you marry him? I said, marry Ke? No, we just chat. We are just friends. He's not even in the country, so it's just as well. I expected that in time the calls will reduce and I'll be rid of him. At least let me not be rude for the sake of my friend. That was August 2005. Months went by and Pauly was very consistent. He would call every day, ask about my day, work, friends. We could chat about anything. Some things I be thought in my mind started shifting. In November 2005, Pauly asked me to marry him over the phone. And guess what? Did I say no? I said yes. Hey. I said yes to a guy I'd met once in 2000. I said yes to a guy who was not in the country. I said yes to a guy whose name was Pauly Ivote. Me that yabbed the name. I mean, what kind of a name was Ivote? As in, I vote. What is he voting for? I said yes to an Igbo guy from Ebonyi. After my frog relationships with Igbo people, my rules on dating and preferences for my ideal guy and how things should flow or be. Chai! Nkem, Kai! But to tell the truth, I felt good, I felt at peace. When I told my sister, they had a good laugh in the midst of all logical thoughts and prompts to be reasonable. How can you say yes to someone you hardly know or haven't seen in years or physically dated? Are you sure? This is happening so fast. It doesn't seem like the way it should. Our dating wasn't a conventional one, I agree. Still, there was something bigger than us in this thing we had come to have. We gisted on all levels. While others could not grasp it, we were so at peace and full with what we felt and knew of each other. He loved and respected me, and I him. We would have our phone fights, and for all I knew, he was in Nigeria and I was where he was because we did not feel the physical distance between us. It was unusual, but somehow love grew over the phone. When I mentioned to my folks, they had a long conversation with Pauly over the phone. My mom was a teeny bit hesitant, but my father, he said some words that would endear any daughter to her father eternally. They gave their blessings. In May 2006, Pauly returned back to Nigeria. We were married on July 1st, 2006. It's been almost 16 years now, 2 children after, and yet it seemed like yesterday our love story began. We are so engraved in God's hand. We get on like bread and butter. You know, some people have asked questions like, how? How did we meet? How could he, in one meeting, know I was the one for him? How could I marry someone I'd not seen in years? How could he believe so much to spend years trying to find me? How could we marry within a year with no physical meeting? How was I able to tell he was the one? How did we know it was real? So many hows. I'm his sagacity and it's my serendipity. Ha, that guy. Hey, we are powered by God's grace. I think it is because we were predestined. He feels it and I do too. We have had our tough times as marriages can get with dealing with issues from annoying relatives to finances to arguments or which school the children should attend and what haircut they should go in and all that. No matter what, we recognize that we have something deep fundamentally that connects us, and it is confirmed each day for us that we're meant. Pauly Ivote wasn't my kind of guy on any regular day. This was just a guy who identified what he wanted and went all out for it. He believed and he was discerning and got what he wanted. When a guy wants you, when a guy loves you, he will do all he can to have you, to make it happen. That's why I am his sagacity. I wasn't looking for love, and I got one of the most beautiful things happen to me. My fortunate discovery. That's why Pauly is my serendipity. I was the girl who chose lots of frogs all by herself. Then God sent me my prince. That was an interesting story. When I read it, I love the way that Nkem wrote, and when I read it, I just generally laughed. And I was like, what are the odds that you meet somebody on the first day and you say to yourself, I'm going to marry that person? Is that love at first sight or something? I don't know whether it happens for people, because they've been together for almost 16 years, so it means that it's going well and all that, you know. So as in, sometimes I wonder, you know, how do people really know that, okay, this person is the person for me, and then you just go with it? Like you meet someone for the first time and it's love at first sight and you just go with it, you know. How do people know that? And how did you know that your partner was the person for you? How did you know? What made you realize? At what point did you realize that this person is my partner? At what point? I would like to know that. So you can write that in the comment section. So this Valentine, we are going to be going out. We're going to be celebrating couples who are in love, who have also sent in their love stories. And we're going to feature this actually on our live, you know. So watch out for that. We're going to be visiting people who have been in love and have lost their loved ones through any means. So we're also going to be visiting them, and we're going to be sharing the joy of Valentine. We're going to be sharing the joy of Valentine, the love that we have. We're just going to be sharing this love about. So watch out for our live videos when we go on this visit. And don't forget to send in your own love story, and let's share together generally. So from me to you, I love you. Okay, so till next time when we come your way again, my name remains Busola Daily David. Bye. Before you leave, please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Thank you.